The captain is back in America.
That's a 20-pounder.
Alaska's for real men. Yes, sir.
It's been a long couple of years since we've been here due to COVID, but the guys at Staby have got us back out here again and we're so pumped to be here. Right now we're at a place called Crystal Peaks Youth Ranch and we're being hosted by Troy and Kim Meter, and they are probably a couple of the nicest people we've ever met.
Hey guys, so I'm Troy Meter. It's nice to meet you, nice to have you here, and I'm one of the founders of Crystal Peaks Youth Ranch and also a captain and a guide at the South Oregon coast, and we run a 2750 Ultra Center Cab Staby craft. We love it, and it's just good to have you with us today.
We've been on the road for a couple of weeks and we're just one with the locals. Now, currently, as you can probably tell from all the snow, in Alaska. There's a big glacier out there behind me and this is some of the most incredible country I think we've seen. Last time we spoke, we were in Oregon. We then met up with Patrick Shipman, who owned a Stabycraft 1550 Fisher, which is an absolute little weapon of a boat.
Oh boy. So my tow rig, yes, I got a Ford F350 that I tow my baby Staby around with. Yeah, everybody tells me that truck's a little big to be towing that boat, but I just love the boat. The safety, the stability of it, the craftsmanship, everything, the aerodynamics, I was sold. We were targeting bottom fish. We were going after blacks, trying to get black rockfish, but we ended up catching copper rockfish.
We had a blast cruising around on that thing and catching some of the ugliest fish I think I've ever seen, but apparently they taste good, so the boys were happy. After that, it was back up to Portland to catch our flight up to Alaska. But before we jumped on the flight, we got a little message from Trav saying, you guys really need to experience all of the American delicacies. And one of those delicacies is weed. It's actually illegal over here in Oregon and up here in Alaska. So me and the cameraman Nick headed out for a night on the town. We went to a few local breweries. I think they were actually gay bars, but we got lots of compliments, so we were happy and probably made a fool of ourselves. But we did make our flight to Alaska the next day. Thank the Lord, here we are, and had a pretty fun time so far. Now, first thing on the agenda was catch a trout for the cameraman Nick. He's obsessed with fly fishing, so we just couldn't come to Alaska and not cast a fly. So we actually teed up with a guide called BJ, who took us out in these really interesting drift boats. Basically this banana-shaped aluminium, or aluminum as they say over here. This aluminum boat sort of just drifts down the river, and BJ uses the oars to sort of keep us in the honey hole. And I'm a pretty crap fly caster, but he told me if I could cast further than his oars, we'd probably be in for some action. Nick was first into the action though, as we expected. He caught a fish, I reckon, after 20 minutes of fishing, and it was this beautiful sort of 20-inch chromed up rainbow trout which had come down from the lake. I didn't catch anything for about 5 hours, and it was actually just on the last couple of casts, I hooked an absolute beauty of a resident fish, which basically means he's been living in the river for a long time. He's developed those dark colors, really nice sort of green brownish back and crazy pink stripes along the side. So absolutely stoked with that. Next on the agenda was to catch up with Sean Parnell and his Stabycraft 2500 Ultra Cab XL.
Well, at the moment, I've been separated for 3 years. About ready to go through our divorce. Bittersweet, but yeah, I am single, and yeah, if there's any of you ladies that want to come fishing, come on, I'll take you out. Yeah, Gus is a little lady magnet, so if you like puppies, I got a little French bulldog that'll just warm your heart. Right now we're in beautiful Homer, Alaska, pretty much the playground, I'd say, of the peninsula. The Kenai Peninsula is where we're at. Yeah, it's a quaint little drinking town with a fishing problem. I ended up buying me a 2021 Stabycraft 2500 Ultra Cab. I can't even describe how that boat feels and drives. It's just like pillows, like driving on pillows. I got the boat really more or less to make memories with my kids and my son. So when he catches a fish, it just, there's no other, no feeling like it. It just warms my heart and makes buying that boat every bit more special.
All we wanted to do was catch a halibut with Sean, and we would have been absolutely stoked. And my, oh my, did Sean deliver.
We were fishing in about 200 feet of water, 220 feet of water for halibut, 2 to 3, 4 pound weights, putting it down there to keep it on the bottom. And you just kind of let it sit in your rod holder and let it bounce off the bottom. Watch it, and you'll see the tip bounce, 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 and then it'll just boom. And once you see it go, that's when you're reel. You don't set the hook on halibut, there's circle hooks. So you just let them take it, and then you're on. Once you land them though, or once you hook them, they're a good fight. They like bringing up a piece of plywood sometimes.
So after a sweet little trip with Sean, we then teed up with Tyler Jeffries, who's actually a Homer local. He's a police officer out here, and he's also just bought himself a Stabicraft 2250 walkthrough.
So the boat's name's Thunderstruck. It's just happened to work out that whenever I'm halibut fishing and I throw Thunderstruck on and start blaring it, and as soon as you hear the thunder, the halibut hit and game's on. And so it stuck with it, and we've just ran with it. So this is Thunderstruck. It's been a life changer. Everyone can fit on the boat, feel safe all the time. Favorite feature of it is the walkthrough, the sliding glass door. It's a game changer. It extends your deck from just fishing in the back to being able to fish in the front. Walkthrough, first thing you have to do is you drop the steps, which is the lower part, just kind of fold it down and it comes down. Then you lift the glass lid that meets halfway, comes up, and it's just really user-friendly. Holland Hill was the guy that came out kingfishing. We were kind of reaching that final turn, and magic happened, and it's action time. Everyone's reeling gear, getting stuff out of the way. Fish ran straight at the boat, thought we lost it for a while, and then saw the boat, and it turned, and we had a little fight on our hands for a little bit.
Oh! Let the drag go, let the drag go. Okay. That's a 20 pounder. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Biggest king I've ever caught. So the bear hunt, we started at 5 a.m. this morning. The idea was to get over there kind of first light and troll some beaches, see if there's any black bear down at the low tide, hitting the beaches, trying to find food down there. Fortunately, we didn't see anything. So after that, about 7 a.m., we hit the beach, parked the boat, and started hiking. Ended up bushwhacking more than hunting, it felt like. We climbed through the trees for quite a while. A good hour of scrambling from tree to tree, trying to keep our feet from getting wet, and lo and behold, end of the day, we got our feet wet.
That's where you impale yourself. We made it.
We didn't get on them, but we found fresh scat, fresh paw prints, everything there in the area, just not our luck today.
So it's time to leave Alaska. California was calling. We needed a little bit of sunshine in our lives. The vitamin D deficiency was getting real. Mexico's just down the way, so I thought we'd crack into a few Tecates. Oh, that is good. So we only had one bloke to catch up with in California, in San Francisco to be exact. His name's Jonathan Lee, and he's probably got the most insane fit out on a Stabicraft we've probably ever seen.
Now I have the Stabicraft 2750 UCC. It looks beautiful. It looks like a machine, like a tank, a helicopter. It's like a transformer. It doesn't look like any other regular boat if you look out there. So for my electronics, I have on is the Raymarines Axioms 12, 24, and 9 at the deck. On top is the Open Array radar 4 kilowatt. On top, I have the FLIR. I have the cameras. In the front is the 210, and the back is a 220. And lights, RGBs. It's like a nightclub. In the front, there's 6 pods of lights, and even on my outboards, there's lights. Even my trailer has lights. Parties on a boat, not yet. Soon, probably.
Now, we've had an absolute awesome time on the Captain's Tour of America. Our biggest takeaway from these Stabicraft owners is that they want lockable toilets where you can actually sort of stand up in, you can use a shower, and you can even store your rods in there at the end of the day. They're begging for it. The hull design, it's like nothing they've ever seen before. The extra stability and having those arrow pontoons is just like, everyone that jumps in them over here has been blown away by the performance of these boats. Safety is a huge aspect, and the fact that these boats aren't going to sink unless you do something very, very bad is also a massive, massive plus. A forward raking windscreen, it's pretty much on most of the boats you see over here, and having that feature in a Stabicraft is something they also love. Now, the things the Americans love most about the Stabicraft is the aesthetics. Having a boat which looks like nothing else around here, the tank looking design, the crazy colors, they love things big, bright and loud, and Stabicraft ticks that box. So that's it for now. We're checking out of the States, flying home today. It's been an absolute awesome trip. Got ourselves a couple of nice cowboy hats, drunk some good beers, made some good mates. Till next time.
Father, thank you for bringing Nick and Jack, and I pray, Jesus, that as they go on their travels, that you'd watch over them, you'd protect them, that they would just see you and all the things that they get to see.